We're now going to find the exact value of the 6 trigonometric functions for our quadrantal angles. That is, angles of 0 degrees, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, and 270 degrees. We'll start with an angle of 0 degrees or 0 radians. The way to do this problem is to draw our Cartesian plane with our x-axis and y-axis, and then draw an angle of 0 degrees. An angle of 0 degrees will have a terminal side on the positive x-axis. What you need to do then is pick any point on that terminal side. The easiest point is 1, 0. What that gives us then is that A is equal to 1, B is equal to 0, and R is equal to 1, because remember, R is the distance from the origin to the point. So what we're going to have now is that the sine of 0 radians equals the sine of 0 degrees is B over R, or just 0. The cosine of 0 equals the cosine of 0 degrees equals A over R, which is 1. The tangent of 0 equals the tangent of 0 degrees. Remember, the tangent is B over A, so that's going to be 0. And now we can do the reciprocals. Cosecant of 0 equals the cosecant of 0 degrees. That's going to be 1 over 0, which of course is undefined. That means that the cosecant of 0 radians or the cosecant of 0 degrees does not exist. How about the secant of 0 or the secant of 0 degrees? Well, that's going to be 1 over 1, or 1. And finally, the cotangent of 0 equals the cotangent of 0 degrees. That's going to be 1 over 0. That also is undefined. Now we can go to an angle of pi over 2 radians, or 90 degrees. We're going to use the same logic. You draw a little Cartesian plane, and then you draw your angle of 90 degrees, or pi over 2 radians. That makes the terminal side of the angle on the positive y-axis. Just pick any point you feel like on the positive y-axis. The easiest point to pick would be 0, 1. That would mean that A is 0, B is 1, and R is 1. Now we can evaluate the sine of pi over 2 is the sine of 90 degrees is B over R, so that's 1. The cosine of pi over 2 is the cosine of 90 degrees, but that's A over R, so that's 0. The tangent of pi over 2 is equal to the tangent of 90 degrees. That's B over A, which gives me 1 over 0, which of course is undefined. So the tangent of pi over 2, or the tangent of 90 degrees, is not defined. Now we do the reciprocals. Cosecant of pi over 2 equals the cosecant of 90 degrees is going to equal R over B. 1 over 1 is 1. The secant of pi over 2 will equal the secant of 90 degrees, and what that's going to give me is R over A, 1 over 0, which is, of course, undefined. So the secant is not defined at 90 degrees, or pi over 2 radians. Finally, the cotangent of pi over 2 equals the cotangent of 90 degrees, but that's going to be equal to A over B. 0 over 1 is 0. 2 more to go. We're going to now go to 180 degrees, or pi radians. So theta is pi, or 180 degrees. Same logic here. You draw your angle. This time the angle is 180 degrees, which means the terminal side's on the negative x-axis. Pick any point you feel like on the negative x-axis. Negative 1, 0 seems to be the easiest one to work with. That means that A is negative 1, B is 0, R is 1. Because remember, R is the distance from the origin to the point on the terminal side. So we're going to get the sine of pi is the sine of 180 degrees is B over R, that's 0. Cosine of pi is the cosine of 180 degrees, A over R, that's negative 1. Tangent of pi equals the tangent of 180 degrees. That's b over a. 0 over 1. Negative 1 is 0. Now the reciprocals, cosecant of pi equals the cosecant of 180 degrees, but that's going to be equal to r over b, which is 1 over 0. That's undefined. Secant of pi equals the secant of 180 degrees. That equals r over a. 1 over negative 1 is negative 1. Finally, the cotangent of pi equals the cotangent of 180 degrees, but that's going to be equal to a over b. Negative 1 over 0 is undefined. One last one to go. That's theta equals 3 pi over 2, or 270 degrees. Same logic here. You draw your angle in. 270 degrees is going to be having a terminal side on the negative y-axis. Pick any point you feel like on that negative y-axis. 0, negative 1 seems to be the easiest. So we have a is 0, b is negative 1, and then r is 1. So the sine of 3 pi over 2 equals the sine of 270 degrees is b over r, negative 1 over 1, negative 1. Cosine of 3 pi over 2 equals the cosine of 270 degrees. Cosine is a over r, 0 over 1, 0. Tangent of 3 pi over 2 is the tangent of 270 degrees. Tangent is b over a. Negative 1 over 0 is undefined. So the tangent function is undefined at 3 pi over 2 radians, or 270 degrees. Now the reciprocals. Cosecant of 3 pi over 2 is the cosecant of 270 degrees. That's going to be r over b, negative 1. Secant of 3 pi over 2 is the secant of 270 degrees. That's going to be r over a, 1 over 0, undefined. And then we have cotangent of 3 pi over 2 equals the cotangent of 270 degrees. Cotangent is a over b. 0 over negative 1 is 0. So, question, do we need to have these values memorized? No, because it's relatively easy to use the definition to find their values.